Everyone, my name is Heather. Welcome so much to my channel and my first video. I am new to BookTube, so I'm going to start out this channel with the BookTube newbie tag. So the first question is, why did you start this channel? Like most people on BookTube, I love books. I love talking about books. I love to write, and so I'm just really excited to talk about all my thoughts about all the things that I read. And I also want this channel to be a place that I get to talk about social justice and politics and history, which are some of the things that I really care about. I do that a little bit over on TikTok, but I think that having it all in one place on YouTube will be a really fun way for me to put together all the things that I love and share them with you. What are some fun and unique things you can bring to BookTube? So to start off, I am Puerto Rican. That is a huge part of my identity. It informs a lot of my politics and my worldview. I'm really excited to highlight Puerto Rican stories and Puerto Rican authors, as well as other Latinx authors and stories on my channel. Also, I have my master's in social work, and I've done some work in policy advocacy concerning domestic violence. I'm also a crisis advocate for domestic violence and sexual assault. So I love reading about healthy relationships. I love reading romances with healthy relationships, and I really love encouraging healthy relationships. And then also, like I said before, I am an aspiring writer. I love to write. I've been writing my whole life. So I love seeing how authors craft their novels, from their plot lines to their characters to their prose. I find it really interesting. And then also every once in a while, maybe every couple months or so, I plan on doing video essays or videos about topics that I really care about that I think deserve more visibility. So I'm really excited to use this channel to dive into topics in more depth. And for all my videos, I want to create a space on YouTube that is welcoming and inviting, but also challenges people to grow or challenges people to consider topics from new perspectives. What about this new channel are you excited for? I'm really excited to meet other booktubers, other people who read the same genres that I do. I'm excited to make friends and have people to talk about books with. I also think BookTube is a place that allows us to have access to booktubers and literature from all around the world. And I'm really excited to broaden my library and read authors from different parts of the world and see what books are popular around the world. And that's something that I'm really excited for, because I think it's so important for us to diversify the books that we read, to diversify our library so that we can learn more about the world around us. Also, I really love filming and editing videos. I love the creative process of it. I used to create travel videos. They were not really vlogs. They were just kind of like home videos, like those old school home videos, mashed up clips of an event, a vacation, whatever. That's kind of what my videos were, and they were a lot of fun to make. So I'm really excited to find my own editing style and learn a lot more about editing. Why do you love to read? I think, like many people, I read to escape, to immerse myself into different worlds and to learn new things. I also use reading as a component of my mental health routine. So I have a lot of health anxiety, and with a pandemic happening, it is really hard for me not to be in my head. So I think taking time out of my day reading for an hour or two is really helpful for my mental health. And I love reading to learn more and broaden my perspectives about the world around me, and also to learn more about specific topics that I might not have been knowledgeable about previously. One sec. Okay. What book or series got you into reading? I cannot remember which series came first, but it was either Harry Potter, which my parents read to me when I was in elementary school. I remember very vividly sitting in my mom's bed and her reading Harry Potter to me. And I also remember being at the 5th Harry Potter's book release at midnight and waiting like in a line down the block with my dad for the midnight release for that book. But then there was also, for those of you that remember Limited 2 had put out a book series, and I believe it was called Fast Friends. And it was essentially these 4 girls who became influencers before influencers were really a thing, and they got to be in the Limited 2 catalog, and they got to go to all of these fun events, and I wanted to be them so bad. And I remember being so excited to go to Limited 2, not just for the clothes but also for the books, and I was obsessed with that series. So it was either Harry Potter or the Fast Friends Limited 2 series. What questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? I have 2 questions. So the first one is, how do you balance reading for pleasure versus feeling pressured to post content? Because I think that sometimes I can be a mood reader, and I don't want to put a lot of pressure on myself to feel like I have to get through so many books to post. And then my second question is, how do you organize your reading schedule for specific themed content? And because I plan on doing videos for like Pride Month or Heritage Month, I just feel a little overwhelmed looking at my TBR for this year. So I'm wondering if anyone has any tips on how to organize your reading schedule. What challenges do you think starting a BookTube channel will be the hardest to overcome? So like I said, I think it'll be feeling pressure to read, and I really want reading to be fun. I don't really want to force anything. I had a really hard time coming out of grad school and getting back into reading, and so I don't want to feel like I'm putting so much pressure on myself to just continue to read things that isn't for enjoyment. So I think that's something it's gonna be hard, especially when I also want to post regular content every week. Number 8 is, when did you start reading? And I was reading as soon as I could. The earliest book I remember being my favorite was Goodnight Moon. I actually still have the little bunny from the book from when I was little. The next question is, where do you read? And I read a lot in bed, probably right before I go to sleep is the time that I read the most. I also read on my couch if I'm cooking and I'm really interested in my book. I'll read while I'm cooking. And then in the summertime, I plant vegetables out on my balcony, and I love being surrounded by all my plants and sitting in the sunlight and just reading. It's one of my favorite places to read. What kind of books do you like to read? My favorite genre by far is fiction. I love reading all sorts of fiction. I love Latin American magical realism. I love multi-generational sagas. I love books with a political undertone or a social justice theme. So I'm thinking of books like The Brief Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde by Junot Diaz, or The Interior Circuit by Francisco Goldman. I don't really know if those count as historical fiction. I'm not sure. They might. But I love books with like a thread of politics weaved into it. I also love romance and space operas. Not necessarily together, but if they are, great, I will read it. And I also love reading Latin American history and Puerto Rican history. So I have my Puerto Rican history shelf, my Latin American history shelf. I love reading about history. I also love reading books about social justice and racial justice. I'm curious about what you love to read too, because I feel like on BookTube, there are a lot of YA and fantasy and contemporary romance booktubers, which is amazing, but I don't always read that. So if you read any of the genres that I do, I would love to hear about what some of your favorite books are, which genre is your favorite. And then the last question I have is, when will you be posting content? I'll be posting weekly content every Saturday mornings, probably between 9 and 11. And like I said, if you read any of the genres that I do, I would love to hear from you, so please leave me a comment. Tell me what some of your favorite genres and books are. So if you enjoyed this video, please give this video a like, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the notification bells so that you can know when my videos drop. So again, my name is Heather. Thank you so much for watching my channel. See you next time.